Okay, Sandy says read. Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to do a discussion, not necessarily reviews, of 3 books. These 3 are the 2022 Imadjinn finalists in the Best Literary Fiction Novel category. These 3 are I for Immortality by Anna Tizard, Squat by Irv Klein, and Concussive by Kelsey Day, and that's my pen name. And that is why we're not doing a full review of these books. I'm just going to do a discussion of these books and kind of tell you what each one is about, some, like specs of the books, so that you guys get an idea of the 3 novels that are available in this category so that you can go out and purchase these books and enjoy them for yourselves. Let's start with Anna's book first, because this is the one I read first, other than my own, of course. I read Anna's book first. I'm so intrigued by the cover, right? Isn't it pretty? I really liked it. Of course, there's like some purple hues in there, so of course I was attracted to that. But I thought this was very pretty. Let's see. I for Immortality. It's written in third-person omniscient from Flo's point of view. Flo is the main character. It's in her point of view. It's in past tense. It's 182 pages, and of course, it was published in 2021. One of the rules for the Imadjinns is that the book must be published the year prior. So for the 2022 awards, the book had to be published in 2021. So all 3 of these were published in 2021. Okay, so let's see. The main character is named Flo, and I'm going to read to you what's on the back cover of each of these. Flo's grandmother, Mara, is eccentric, independent, and obsessed with art, just like Flo. But Mara's time is nearly up. On her deathbed, Mara asks Flo to glaze her portrait with a mysterious serum gifted by her long-estranged friend Bernie, whose rainforest expedition 18 years ago first sparked Flo's passion for painting. Once glazed, Mara's portrait seems to come alive. Flo confronts Bernie, but his ancient plant-derived magic pulls her into a world of dread, desire, immortality perhaps, and a nightmare from which she may never escape. I for Immortality is the second release from the Book of Exquisite Corpse, a collection of stories inspired by the surrealist word game of the same name. This short novel is about the desire to touch eternity. Now, when I read this, I was intrigued by I don't want to go too much into like reviewing, but I just want to give a description more or less. When I read this, I was intrigued by the language that Anna uses throughout the book. It's written in, I wrote down here, it's very much like a stream of consciousness. I mean, there's a lot of exposition in the novel, but that exposition is done in a very stream of consciousness, pretty, flowing language, in that kind of fashion. And it almost mimics painting, with a brush. It just gave that feel. And I really liked that idea because it kind of, the writing style fit the theme of painting and being an artist. I liked that. And I marked a passage to read for you guys to kind of give you that feel of the stream of consciousness or the artistic writing style. So you could kind of feel it too. All right, let's see. From page 154, let's just dive into the middle of it. Flo leaned, stretching after a half-made thought. These ideas, like distant strains of music, came clearer when they paused to listen. Mara, are you there? A gentle chuckling wafted past, entwined with murmurs of art speaks and the truth beyond all things. Some of her, not all of her. Flo recalled vaguely that it was Mara's essence, not her whole human body, that had entered this being. Maybe that made things different for her. Her? Yes, such separateness was still possible, as something out there in that strange, half-forgotten life place. See, it has like a stream of consciousness flow to it. A lot of the language did, and I kind of liked that feel. Okay, I'm not supposed to be giving a review of these books, but that intrigued me, and I wrote down here that when we first meet Mara, the character that we were talking about, the grandmother, when we first meet her at the beginning of the book, she's at the end of her life, in the end stages of cancer. Hence, the exquisite corpse, right? We have her at the end stages of cancer, and she tells Flo to read a letter that's being stored in the bottom drawer of a dresser, right? This letter, and the letter has instructions that Flo is to follow. But Flo doesn't quite follow those instructions, and hence we get our inciting incident. And because Flo doesn't follow those instructions to the letter, we get this series of events that take place, and we dive into the action. Nicely done. Oh, sorry, I'm not supposed to be reviewing. Sorry. Okay, let's see. Next up. Okay, next I am going to talk about Concussive next, because the storyline in I for Immortality does include some, I want to call them supernatural or paranormal magical elements. There is a touch of magic happening in this literary fiction novel, right? And in the story Concussive, Kelsey Day leaves it up to the reader to decide if the main character is experiencing something paranormal or not. The reader gets to decide in this psychological drama if the character is going through something or not. The question is for you to decide. So Concussive by Kelsey Day, it's 90 pages. It's third person omniscient in Noble Galen's point of view. Noble Galen is our main character. So let me read the back for you. Dr. Noble Galen didn't suspect anyone of nefarious deeds until his accident in the Parkville Neurologic Center. Strangely enough, banging his head against the TMS helmet sets him on a path of paranormal activity that no one else is experiencing. With a heightened sense of his patient's needs, the good doctor can treat beyond the typical neurosurgery. And that makes him uneasy. As Noble comes to understand the nuances of his new skill set, he tries to avoid accessing the minds of those closest to him. He has a precocious niece to protect from this gift. But as all superheroes know, with great power comes incredible opportunity for misinterpretation. Kelsey Day welcomes readers to join a thought-provoking foray into a brain surgeon's psychological nightmare in her second novella, Concussive. Kelsey's debut novel, She's Not Broken, won a Literary Fiction Award in 2019. Neither of these works is light reading or meant for young audiences. All right, so I just wrote down here there's hints of the paranormal or supernatural, but it's up to the reader to decide if you believe that. And that's that one. Now, the third novel is Squat by Irv Klein. This one is 331 pages, so it is much longer than the other two. This one is the main character is Bob Tingle, adult male. When we meet him, he is working as a mechanic in Chicago, and he does leave Chicago pretty quickly. And I'm going to talk to you about how Irv handles the passage of time in this novel. I'm not going to review. I'm just going to tell you. I think it's very well done, but I'm just going to kind of explain it to you. This book feels quite a lot like a memoir told by Bob. It's from Bob's point of view. Did I tell you this? It's first person point of view, present tense, which I'm not used to reading stories told in present tense. So that was new and different for me. And 330 pages of it was new and different for me, but it worked. All right, so let me read the back for you. Bob, a native of Chicago, thinks he'll find a simpler life when he leaves the city for small-town Kentucky. Situations both humorous and poignant prove him wrong. He rents a room from Steve and Lou, who see him as a potential son-in-law, even if their daughter Sally doesn't. He meets the Waynedale Mafia, a group of aging busybodies who dispense equal parts pie and advice while overseeing the social life of the community. And that's just his first day. His attempt to start a relationship with Nellie, the single mother of a teenage daughter, is complicated by his longing for the free-spirited Pam, the woman he left behind. It is further upset by Nellie's daughter and her boyfriends from hell. When Bob invites Pam for a visit, Lou, the Mafia, and Sally are all prepared to tell him what he's doing wrong, while Nellie simply tells him where to go. But there's another voice, if Bob will listen, the voice of the soft-spoken man who calls himself Squat. Okay, now I mentioned that I liked the way Irv handled the passage of time in this novel. I mean, it's 331 pages, and we do see the lifetime of Bob as an adult male. So there's a lot of years in this book, but Irv, I mean, he doesn't let it drag, okay? And I know I'm not supposed to be reviewing these. So let me give you just an example of one of the passages of time that I think was handled very well. Okay, from page 286. When the following summer rolls around and Jenny graduates, she heads off to Chicago alone. Pam has promised to help her find a job. I hope Pam doesn't give Jenny any dating advice. And that's one quick paragraph that covers a year, right? And quickly, easily done. And then like the next section is the summer of 1994 is hot, muggy, and long. And we just go into the next set of action, the next actionable moment that we need to hear about for the narrative. I mean, I liked the way that was done. All right, those are the 3 novels that are finalists in the what? Literary fiction novel category. There you go. I encourage you guys to pick up these novels, read them, enjoy them. Of course, mine, yeah, right? But all of them. There you go. I'm not supposed to be doing a review. It's just a discussion. The Imadjinn Awards have multiple categories. There are a ton of books and screenplays and poetry chapbooks available in the Imadjinns this year. I will leave a link to that tab on the Imaginary Convention page. I will leave that link in the description box below so that you guys can check that out, because I encourage you to do so. Some of these authors are self-published. Some of these authors are published by indie presses. I think I don't remember, so I don't want to say. But I was going to say a couple of them might be like the Big Five, published by the Big Five. I don't recall, so I don't want to say that they are. They are published by multiple venues. How's that sound? So there are hidden gems in the Imadjinn Awards every year, and so I recommend checking it out and looking and seeing if there's some new favorite author that you could find in this awards program. And I think that's all I've got for today, right? Please follow the channel. That's it. You guys, I'm a little overheated from working out in the yard today. If I look crazy, it's because I need to take a nap. That's all for now. Thank you so much for tuning in. I hope that you're a follower or a subscriber to the channel here, because random stuff happens all the time and is usually kind of fun. So I'll see you next time.